How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. In this video, we're gonna talk about how to get people to like you, and we're gonna talk about the 4 most important strategies to get people to like us, and how they are paradoxical to the way we normally think of how to get people to like us. So now let me tell you my story. When I got my first job out of grad school in engineering, I thought I wanted to impress everyone. I wanted to rise up the ladder. I wanted to be the smartest person in the room. I wanted to be liked by everyone. And what did I do? I would talk all the time. In meetings, I would try to prove how smart I was. I still remember a meeting I was with my director and VPs and other engineers, and my director said something which I thought was wrong. And I pointed it out. I said, no, that is wrong. Even though it was true that what he said was wrong. And I thought in the moment that I had proved how smart I was. I had really not proved how smart I was, but instead proved that I had no skills how to handle people. And I would talk on and on and on during lunch breaks or during off hours or even during times that we had together about my interest, about the things I do in life, about how amazing my life was, my passions, my interests, my hobbies, this, that, my. That's all I was doing. I was only interested in what I was doing because I wanted to show to them that I was smart, I was intelligent, I was amazing. I was trying so hard to prove that I was worthy, that I was smart, I was intelligent, that I belonged there, that they should promote me, that they should like me. And what happened a year and a half later? I got laid off. And I thought, well, these guys have no idea what they missed out on. So they have no idea how smart I was, how smart, intelligent I am. And it's so disappointing until a friend of mine handed me the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And this book revolutionized my life, literally revolutionized my life, because I did not realize that everything I was doing up till that point in terms of human relationships, in terms of winning friends, everything was wrong. Everything was the exact opposite of what I should have been doing. Because the paradoxical truth of how to win friends, how to get people to like you, is that we have to like people in order to have them like us. That is the paradox. We think that we have to make them like us, but no, it's much more effective for us to like them, because when we like them, they like us. And the truth is, can you really like someone by talking all the time, or being interested in yourself, or proving how good you are, or proving how important you are? Can you really like someone like that? No. And if you cannot like someone, as the paradox says, if you don't like them, they will not like you. So in order to get someone to like you, you have to like them. And how do you do that? Well, there are 4 key strategies. The first one is to become genuinely interested in other people. As Dale Carnegie says, you will make more friends in 2 months by being interested in other people than in 2 years by trying to make people interested in you. Because the fundamental truth is that people are interested in themselves. If only I had the understanding that I needed to talk to my colleagues about their interests, if I could only become interested in their lives, in their pains, in their frustrations, in their challenges, I could have become more friendly towards them, and I could have had more friends. The second important key, really important key, be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves. There is a reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And here's another paradox. If you aspire to be a good conversationalist, you have to be a great listener. You have to give them the gift of your full rapt attention. You have to encourage them to talk about their accomplishments, about their well-being, about the things that they enjoy. You have to listen, because people are so much more, 100 times more interested in themselves, in what they're talking about, than what you have to talk about. So people will think of you as a great conversationalist if you are a great listener. And the funny thing, the paradoxical thing is, when you think of a conversationalist, you think of someone who can converse, who can talk. But it's the opposite, the paradox which is true, which is someone who can listen. Someone who can ask questions and just let the other person talk. The third truth about getting people to like you is to talk in terms of their interests, not yours. The exact opposite. Don't talk in terms of your interest. Talk in terms of the other person's interest. And that's the road, the royal road to a person's heart, which is to talk about the things that interest him or her the most. Talk about their kids, their family, their health, their relationships, whatever it is. And there are quite a few things, there are quite a few reasons why you should talk about them, because first of all, it gets them to like you, but also you get to learn something new. You get to see the world from their eyes. You get to see and learn what they have learned. And the fourth truth of getting people to like you is to make the other person feel important and to do it sincerely. That is probably the one truth that I completely missed on when I was constantly in my job trying to prove how good I was, how important I was, how smart I was, how capable I was. I was doing the exact wrong thing. Because, as William James said, the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated, the craving to feel important, the craving to feel like we're good, that we are worthy. And when you take that away from people, you cannot get them to like you. So, people want to be appreciated. People want to feel like they're important in your lives. When you can show it to them that they're important to you, that's when you become important to them. Again, very paradoxical idea. Only when you feel like they're important to you will they now start to feel that you are important to them. And really interesting example from the life of Benjamin Disraeli, the UK Prime Minister, legendary UK Prime Minister. One time when he was running for elections, this lady went for dinner with the guy who was competing against him, who stood against him in the elections. And she said, when I got done with the dinner, I felt like I was in the company of one of the smartest men in the world. That gentleman was so smart. Definitely he deserves to run for the Prime Minister of the UK. However, a few days later, she went on a dinner with Benjamin Disraeli. And here's what she said of Benjamin Disraeli. She said, when I went for dinner with Benjamin Disraeli, I felt like I was the smartest person in the world. And that is why I will vote for Benjamin Disraeli. Now this is the key. Benjamin Disraeli made her feel important. He talked to her about herself. He let her talk about her interests, her passions, and he let her prove to him that she was important. And that's when she knew that he was important to him. He was important to her. So there we have it. How to win friends and influence people. The 4 really key skills to get people to like you. The 4 paradoxical skills to get people to like you. Always remember, if you can remember one thing from this whole thing, it is, in order to get people to like you, you must like them. That is the way forward. By the way, don't forget to subscribe here so that you'll know instantly when the third part of the summary goes live. There we will talk about things like how to win people to your way of thinking, and you'll learn one of the key ways, the most common way in which you and I make enemies inadvertently, and how to never do it again. So make sure to subscribe, and when the third part of this video goes live, the button below will magically turn green and the link will become active.